guys, welcome. Welcome to week 3. So fun to see your faces. Thank you. Feel free to turn your camera off, of course, but I appreciate that. So we're going to start seated. I would love for you to have your props ready to go. So 2 to 4 blocks. If you don't, it's okay. Don't worry. But if you're going to come regularly, it's really good to have at least 2 and 4 if flexibility is challenging. A strap or some kind of strap thing, whatever you can get creative with. I've got a yoga strap and then something to sit on. So we'll start seated. Get cozy, please. Okay. I'm just kidding. I'm going to make sure the volume is, just feel free to, yoga blocks, Amazon, Amazon.com or Target. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. The foam blocks, the cork blocks are heavier and sturdier. They're also like twice as expensive. Foam is totally fine. All right, take a seat with me. Have some tissue. If you're congested, just kind of clears the brain, blow your nose. Have some water, have a candle, like set your space. So it becomes ritual. That's just a suggestion. So that, when we meet at whatever time this time lands for you, you've taken a few minutes to create what I would call a container and have things that are pleasurable. Okay, so go ahead and let your eyes close. My hands are wanting to be on my heart for a moment. Just see where your hands want to go. Take a nice deep breath in. And if nobody's around and you're comfortable, let out a good sigh. Let out a good sigh, just to kind of signal to the body that it's time to make a shift. For 1 hour, it's time to make a shift. Gift yourself this time. And really, it's like the greatest gift you can give yourself is your own presence. Just like we crave, presence from a loved one. We pray, there is a gift in giving ourselves our undivided attention. So first, do a little check-in. What's here? How are you in this moment? How are you in this moment? Bring it all in. Don't push anything away. Wrap your arms around whatever is here at this time. If we're in a peaceful space of inspiration and gratitude and ease, gosh, let's just let that expand. If you're in a challenging place, we're present to that with intention to transmute, transform, alchemize as much as we can. So the first thing I want to go ahead and do is I'd like you to just take your left thumb and index finger together. So my thumb is kind of on the top of the nail. My other 3 fingers are extended. I'm going to find that straight spine, neutral pelvis. I visualize I'm connected and rooted through the tailbone or through the sitting bones or just through the base of the spine. And I'm connected up above through the crown of my head, to the sun, to the moon, to the stars, whatever you're going to connect to. Go ahead and block the right nostril with the thumb, just breathing in and out through the left side only. Big breath in. Slow breath out. Do that 2 more times. If you're congested, blow your nose. Sometimes even blowing our nose, the breath isn't flowing necessarily as freely as you'd like it. So we're just noticing that. Nothing's wrong. We are expanding our capacity to breathe in fully, to breathe out fully. After 3 times, just go ahead and let the hand go. You can bring this right hand then into Yan Mudra as well. The 3 fingers are extended. Just noticing. And then we'll go ahead and block the left, breathing in and out through the right. So it's like clearing the path. It's like clearing the congestion, clearing the cobwebs. That's what I think about as we're moving energy through the body. Get out of the mind for a while, get into your heart, get into your lungs, let your awareness move deeper in. Take a break from where we spend so much of our time. And after you've done 3 times, you're going to go ahead and just release that hand down again. We're breathing in and out through both nostrils. So one nostril is more dominant generally, and it switches, So depending upon what you're doing, if you're passive or active, often one nostril is going to be more open than the other. And really the intention is so that they both feel balanced. We're going to do this one more time. And I want you to have a little bit of a flavor of how can I deepen? How can I slow down? How can I soften? How can I refine or master this? Block the right nostril 3 times. In through the left. When we're breathing, and out through the left, slow. When we're breathing in and out of the left side, it's like it's the feminine principle. It's the grounded, earth, nurturing, rest, restore, receive. We all have masculine and feminine energy in the body. It's gender, and it's not. It's not. Regardless of gender, we have these energies. After that 3rd one, you're releasing the hand, breathing in and out through both. So it's this visualization, or at least this is what comes to me, of like clearing space. Getting more in tune to truth and what's here. Other side last time, blocking the left, in and out through the right. As we're breathing in and out through the right side represents more masculine energy. It's fire, it's the sun, it's energizing, it's action. The feminine is rest, masculine is action, these energies in the body. The feminine is nurturance, the masculine is protection. We need both. And we focus on cultivating these energies within ourselves. Really empowering. After that 3rd one, again, you're releasing the hands, you're breathing in and out through both. And we slow down even more together. Can we go deeper into ourselves together? Take a couple more breaths here, just seated. I know we take some time, but it's like the beginning, the pranayama piece, the mindfulness, the sitting is like we step into a different energetic space. I don't like to rush that, I suppose. So hopefully we've stepped in, we close the door, we take care of ourselves for a solid hour. No interruptions. All right, let's drop our chin into our chest. Just relax the back of the neck. We're going to go ahead and take the support out from underneath you. Let's take a little child's pose. So I care like too much. I care so much. I want everyone to have a nice experience. And so all I can do is encourage that you love what your body wants to do today, and you honor what it doesn't. And you trust that if there's something I'm offering that doesn't feel good or doesn't feel accessible, how can you modify? How can you still make those moments of receiving? How can you still stay connected to the practice and not exit if I'm doing something that isn't available? Dropping into your child's pose all the way and allowing I usually have some distance between my knees, and I just allow a little rocking side to side. If your knees are sensitive, you can put maybe a blanket across the calves so that there's less flexion. You could also just pull your knees into your chest and be on your back. It's a similar shape. Letting the lungs fill so that you feel some, like the ribs expanding into the thighs, really.
And with our knees wide, so you might take them a little wider. I want you to walk over to the right, and I want you to reach through that left arm. So reach through your left arm so you feel a pull from the left wrist all the way down through the left rib cage down to the waist, and you imagine your sitting bones are still sinking back to the heels. And then take it over to the left and reach through the right arm. Feel that pull. I usually fold my left forearm and put my head on it. Breathing space into the right side. So I like to visualize breathing in the sunlight. I'm a bit obsessed with the sun. So that feels really life-giving and beautiful and supportive to me. You might just notice what you want to breathe in today. We're going to go ahead and bring it back to center. Always stretch our feet. Curl your toes, tuck them under. Let your hips drop back towards your heels. You can sit all the way back if you, if you can. We will do some sun salutations today and some standing postures, and then we'll slow it down again. So let's bring it forward. And I would just take your hands right underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and toes curled under. We're going to arch. Head up, shoulder blades squeeze in. Take your tail to the sky. Your back muscles are engaged. And then exhale and round. Tucking your chin in, pressing the hands into the mat. We'll do a few of these. Tail up, belly drops, chest open, head lifts. Round. Now do a few more, and I almost want you to bring, really exaggerate the exhale and the breath emptying out. Really tuck your chin and tuck your tail. Okay. Bring it to a neutral spine. I want to show you a twist. I don't know if I've done this one with you before. I probably have, but it's been a while. So on all fours, I take my right arm to the sky and I look up, trying to stack my right shoulder on top of my left. And then I'm going to exhale and thread this right arm through to the left and bring my right shoulder down. Trying to bring my shoulder down. It's probably in between my knees. Bring my head down. My left hand presses into the mat. Roll that left shoulder back. If I'm really flexible, I'll turn my gaze up to the ceiling. You don't have to do that. This is opening your thoracic spine, all around the ribs, the lungs. The lungs are great purifiers, right? So feel that squeeze. And then I release it, unwind it, and I take it back up again. Inhale. Look up. I'm going to try to draw my arm a little further back and open up my chest a bit and release it down. We're going to change sides. Left arm goes up. Inhale, look up, big breath. Exhale, thread the left arm through. Bring the shoulder down. Bring your head down. If there's a lot of tension in your upper back, your thoracic spine, it's possible that your head will come down and your shoulder won't want to. You could put a little blanket or a pillow underneath the left shoulder. Press the right hand into the ground. See if you can start to turn your gaze more up to the ceiling. It's going to pull the muscles between your scapula and your spine. And get a little pull underneath the shoulder blade. Unwind it, take it back up. Inhale, look up. Pull it back a little more. And bring it down. Let's find our blocks. I want to start in a squat. And then we're going to move through some modified sun salutations. So I'm going to tuck my toes under. I can have blocks if I need to. Take my knees up. I like my feet wide. So the modifications would be I take the block, one or two of them, and put it underneath my hips. Press my elbows into my knees. A good rule is toes and knees should point in the same direction. That keeps the knees nice and healthy. So my toes are turned out. Let's lift up. I'm going to have both blocks and just a forward bend here. For my very flexible friends, you might just be like folding forward all the way. If there's a lot of tension there, use the props, use the support. So what I'd like to do here is have your feet about hip width. Okay. Sometimes we think our hips are wider than they are. You would draw a line from your sitting bones straight down, and that's where your heels will land. So it's probably more narrow than we think. You're going to bend the right knee. I would love for you to have a block here. If you don't, you'll be fine. I'm going to put my right hand on the block, and it's in between my feet. I'm going to take my left arm up to the sky. So similar to what we did on all fours, big twist. You might find you want to turn this left palm away and wrap it around your back and hold on to this right thigh. So we're opening up the hamstrings and getting another twist. I'm going to change sides. Left knee is bent. Right arm's going to go up. I would just be planting my fingers on the ground, it's harder. So the blocks just make some of these postures more available. Turn my right arm away, palm away, wrap it around if I can. I hold on to this left thigh and pull the shoulder back. You can always just keep the arm up to the ceiling. And exhale and let it go. All right, let's just ragdoll our way up. Just slide your hands up your legs. Take it all the way up. Inhale, look up, reach up. And exhale, bring your hands to prayer. Okay, so let's bring the blocks to the top of the mat. I know I show you this all the time, but if you've got 4 blocks, you do the bottom one at the first level and the top one at the 3rd level. And it will make the whole thing still challenging and more accessible. So I'm just going to use one on each side today. Stand in your mountain pose with your feet hip distance for me. Roll your shoulders back. So find that posture. Find that like posture, like shoulders back and down. Puff your chest a little bit. Open the front of your chest. Open your heart. Feel your strong legs. Let's lift and spread your toes. All 10. And then root them down. Give a little tone to your belly. So we want to cultivate, if we think about the elements, we want to cultivate a little fire here. Some heat. Bring in the element of breath, just air with our breath. I always think of earth just through the bones and through the weight of the body. And water just in like fluidity in my movements. We can call in those. And space, of course, just the energy around us. We can pay attention to the elements as we're moving. Inhale, reach both arms up. If you're newer to a sun salutation, sometimes watching is helpful. I'm just going to reach through both fingers, or both hands, reaching the arms up. I'm going to exhale, come into my chair pose, put my hands on the blocks. Just hold this for a moment. Hold it. Strong spine, strong glutes. The blocks are there, but you've got enough power in your legs that they're not really holding the weight of the body. Now I'm going to send the right leg back. I'm going to bring my right knee down. Opening up the psoas muscle. Your hands might stay on the blocks. You might find you want some support underneath the right knee. If you feel good, take both arms up. Press the top of the right foot down into the mat. Extend fully through the elbows. Now imagine I'm coming over and holding onto your wrists. And without you shrugging your shoulders to your ears, you feel a lift. Reach. Hands release back down. Back thigh is going to lift. I'm going to play with a lot of poses today. Step the right foot to the top. You're back in your chair pose. I love this one because it's strength in the legs, it's strength in the spine. Push to stand, inhale, look up, bring the palms to touch, look to your hands. And then we're going to exhale for the second side, bring it back down into your chair pose. Most important here, my weight is back. like back to the heels, and my spine is straight. No rounding, please. Step the left foot back. We want to take care of especially the lumbar vertebrae. Really for anybody, but especially if you've gone through treatment, we want to be really mindful. Take both arms up, palms face in. Press the top of the left foot into the mat. Breathe. Hands release down. Back thigh lifts. Step it to the top. Back in your chair. And push down into the earth. Inhale, reach the arms up. Feel that breath coming in. Meet me in mountain pose. Exhale, hands to your heart. Big breath in and out here. Like every cycle of breath affirms whatever it is that you're needing today. And I'll often do that. I'm conscious to where I am. I'm conscious to anything that would be really supportive of me being, in a more vibrant place. And I think about breathing that in with every cycle. We're going to do this again, but it's going to be a high lunge. Inhale, arms reaching up. And exhale, come down into that chair pose. I'm going to step the right leg back. I'm going to give you some options here. You're going to keep the right heel lifted if a high lunge is available and safe. Otherwise, plant the right foot down at about a 45-degree angle. The difference between a high lunge and a warrior two. I'm on our warrior one. Arms come on up if you can. So if I'm in a warrior one and the back heel is down, my base is more stable. I get a nice calf stretch, but I can't lunge as deep. That's because my calf is tight. So I could lift that back heel, which makes it a little more of a balancing posture, and I can drop deeper. So feel your legs. The deeper we lunge, of course, there's more muscle fibers firing. So we get a little more heat. Take a breath in. Release the hands down. That works the glutes on the left side. We step forward to the top of the mat again. Back in your chair. Push down, reach up, inhale. And we're going to go right into the second side. We pause afterwards. Come back down. Left leg steps back. High lunge or warrior one. Warrior one, plant the back heel down. If you do, your foot is at that 45-degree angle. If it feels safe to be in a high lunge, lift the back heel and lunge deeper. Ooh, find your breath. Hands release down to the blocks. Step forward to the top. So obviously, if you didn't have blocks, you would use the floor, but it's like all the way to standing. Inhale. We're taught this way in the training that I did to offer a sun salutation this way. So that's why I do it. Relax your arms at your sides. Just breathe. Let out a sigh. We move energy with our breath. Obviously with our bodies. With our attention, with our intention. Yeah, often when I'm with you all teaching, it's just the phrase self-healer comes in. Like, what can we be doing throughout our days? We keep offering self-care, self-love. Okay, we're going to change this up. Do some more standing postures. Inhale, reach the arms up. Fill your body with love. Fill your body with breath. Bring it back down into that chair pose. We're going to step the right leg back. I'm going to spin the heel down all the way. So my foot's parallel to the back end of the mat. Left toes are pointing to 12 o'clock. I'm going to come up to standing. Have the blocks within reach. Open your arms. But just take a moment to make sure, because when we're in a warrior two, we tend to kick the right shoulder forward. We tend to twist and rotate the spine a little bit. So keep everything like facing the long edge of the mat. Extend the arms forward and back. Turn your gaze without bringing the shoulders with you. And then lunge into your left knee. Turn the palms down.
Can you lift all 10 toes? Can you gaze over that left hand? Is there a smile with your eyes? I'd be grateful to be here together. Fill your lungs with breath. Lunge a little deeper. That fine line we want to feel, we want to connect in, and sometimes some discomfort is good. Find the edge. Hold a little longer. Feel your quads working, feel your strong legs. Straighten that left knee. I'm going to take a triangle pose. So we haven't done any inner thigh anything. So I just encourage you to go slow. Slide the left hand down. If you have a block, your hand is on the block and right arm goes to the sky. Otherwise, your hand is on your shin or your ankle. Press your pelvis forward. If you are against a wall, I can pretty much guarantee, because I still do it after 20 some years of teaching. So sacrum moves forward, hips move forward, shoulders and head lean back. Now stay and breathe and reach your tailbone towards that right heel a little more and soften the rib cage down. Feel that left inner thigh. I'm going to windmill the arms around and down. Find my blocks. I'm going to bring this back knee down. Okay, this is a tough one, but it's good. So we're going to take a twist. I like twists, not just for the spine, but they're good for the abdominals as well. So I'm going to be hooking my right elbow to the outside of my left thigh, right elbow outside of my left thigh. Sometimes I'll give myself an assist. I'll put my left hand on my thigh and I try to get a little more of my arm connected. Hands are in prayer. Elbow opens up. Press the top hand into the bottom hand. Breathe. So I feel a deep stretch in my psoas, which is like the belly. It's in the belly and the top of the hip. Huge muscle. Gets very tight and can get weak, especially in times of stress, high stress. But when it's strong and open. Now, if you feel like you can and it's safe, you might tuck your right toes and see if you can lift the right thigh. Plenty of people are just like, no, Emily, that's not happening. It's okay. It's okay. Now we're going to release the hands to the blocks. We're going to lift this right thigh. I love seeing you. I mean, really, you're tiny, but I'm glad I can see some of you. Right thigh lifts. And we step forward to the top of the mat. We're back in that chair pose, back in that chair pose. Chair pose is also called fierce. I like that. It creates some fire. Push down, reach up, inhale, breathe in. And then exhale, pause with me. I'm going to put my hands on my heart. Can we focus our mind on what we're grateful for? And really give it your attention. Take a moment. All right, let's do the second side. Inhale, arms reaching up. And then we're going to bring it down to the floor. Exhale, come into your chair. We send the left leg back. Spin the left heel down so the foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Right toes are pointing straight ahead. Come on up to standing. Arms extend. Gaze over your hands. Take a breath in. Exhale, lunge into that right knee. So again, knee tracks over the toes. Knee tends to want to dip in here. Press it back. Lunge deep, hold, strong. Remember a teacher said to me once in this posture, she said, I'm going to come over. I want to come over, be able to come over and sit on your thigh and you're not going anywhere. Of course she didn't, but it's the idea of like, how can I really create more stability in my body just with that little thought? Solid, strong, solid in. Okay, straighten the front knee. Take the back arm down, take the top arm up for a moment. And we come into a triangle pose, sliding that right hand down. So I've always liked my hand to the outside if it's not on my shin, because it feels a little more like an invitation to lean back. And it's in that leaning back that I feel more. How can you feel more? How can you deepen? You trust the intelligence of your body that it knows how. You trust you know how to deepen, even if I don't give you any instruction. We're going to windmill around. We're going to lift the back heel. And we're going to bring that knee down. We're in a low lunge. Okay, so I'm going to hook my left elbow. And sometimes my right hand might be on a block to the outside of my right hip, or it can come to my thigh, and I'm going to try to connect my elbow to the thigh, or if I can get a little more, I'm connecting my upper arm to the thigh. Bring my hands to prayer and point that elbow to the sky. A big stretch for that psoas. If you feel safe, tuck the back toes and lift. Sometimes this one is less about strength and more about believing that you can. I have found. Release the hands. Step to the top. Find your footing for your chair. I'm going to add a little something here. We're going to push to standing. Inhale. And then I want you to go ahead and take your right elbow under your left. Give yourself a hug. Right elbow under left. Wrapped my arms around my shoulders. Give yourself a little embrace. Offer yourself some kind, loving words. And then I'm going to bring my hands into more of an eagle. So my right fingers come to my left palm if I can. I'm going to have my feet still hip distance. I'll give you some options here. Drop into your chair. So if something like this is challenging, you're just here, you're just present. You're present with what feels successful, within yourself. And then I offer the other little challenging things like, whether you want to do them. So if you'd like to, you can try to lift your heels. And if you can lift your heels a little, try to lift them a lot. Stay safe, always safety. I could drop my hips lower. Oh, it's all quads, you guys. Release, inhale. It'll kick up the heat. We'll go left under right. Give yourself a hug first. I do think it's a practice. I do think it's a gift to be able to watch the inner dialogue. Offer really kind words to yourself. Fingers to the palm. Or to notice when it's not unkind and repattern that. Drop into your seat. Straight spine. You could just hold it here, belly pulled in. If you feel like it's accessible to lift your heels, you can really challenge yourself and go low. Release the heels, unwind, come up to standing. Inhale, look up. And exhale. And just stand with me. They're like little mini meditations when I ask us to pause. Am I here fully? Can I bring more of me here to the moment? Because it will always be the most potent when we're here, when we're present. Just like in any dialogue, a close conversation with a friend. The potency of it is really connected to how present we are or we are not. That's just my opinion. All right, let's do a little balance here. Let's go, I want to do full eagle, and then I'm going to bring us down. I'm doing all right on time. I'm going to show you how to modify this. I'm going to have the block to the outside of my left foot. I'm not mirror image to you. right under left. I can hug, or I can take full eagle. I can drop into that chair and just squeeze. I can take my thigh on top and put my toes on that block. Some of you can wrap the foot around the calf. Never has worked in my body all the years I've taught. I've been practicing 25, I'd say. Squeeze the thighs together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So good for the lymph. Find that fire, squeeze. Release the foot. Inhale, big breath in. Fill up, fill up, fill up. Exhale through the mouth, left under right. Hug our fingers to the palm. Let's bring in a little smile together. Drop our hips. Left over right. You would have the block there if you need it. Be to the outside of the right foot. Think and squeeze. Let this inspire you as like a little detoxification. Stimulates the lymph. Strong in the legs. Lymph under the arms and groin are getting stimulated. We've got balance. We've got strength. All packaged in one pose. You'll release as you're ready. Big breath in. Let it out through the mouth. Good. Okay, get some to drink if you need. We're going to take a seat. Take a seat. Yeah. Yep. Just read some of your comments. I understand. It's good to learn to like modify anything so you can still feel that success, connection. Okay. So take a seat with me. Take your hands behind you. Do a little twist here. Kind of like a twist, and we'll get a little pigeon pose in. So my feet are wide, my hands are behind me. Just try a little side to side, drop both knees to the right. I flex my feet. That feels safer in my knees. Come through center and to the left. Flexing feet. Center to the right. Keep it to the right. Keep it to the right. Bring the left arm around. You're facing the quote unquote back of your mat, both hands on the mat. Feel the navel rotating to the right. So you stay here. You should feel a big rotation, like I feel it through my rib cage, especially on the right side. Trying to pull my left ribs forward. If I want more, I'll bring my forearms down. I like this actually for lower back tension. Getting that left forearm down and then finding your breath. My very flexible friend, you could hold your right forearm, kind of pull it in, put your head on it, and walk that left arm straight overhead as far as you can. And we'll bring it back up. And we'll take it through center and over to the left. And we'll bring the right arm around. So just introduce it first. Kind of feel the belly pull in. Feel the rotation to the left. Notice, does the left forearm want to come down? Does the right forearm want to come down? Sometimes it doesn't. This actually gets the psoas in that right hip. Psoas is a huge muscle. It's attached from the interior part of the lumbar spine, so the front. And then it threads through the pelvis and it attaches to the top of the femur bone. So it literally connects the upper and lower half of the body. And it's very energetically connected to fear. When that muscle contracts, it's like pulling the body into the fetal position to protect. So common when we've been through some big catalytic something, that can get really tense. Bring my right forearm down, my left forearm down and stretch my right arm.
far as I can. Bring it back. Take both knees to the right. And then I'm just going to turn my torso maybe this way. So you've just kind of, I'm turning my torso over this right knee. And I'm just going to walk my hands forward. Some of you might be able to fold all the way on top. So it's like a little mini pigeon. It's not going to be as intense as a full pigeon if you're really sad. Just work the left leg all the way back behind you. Otherwise, keep it bent. Pigeon is more about piriformis, which is a little teeny muscle deep in the glutes. It wraps around the sciatic nerve. Well, when it's tight, it compresses the sciatic nerve, so you want to keep that open. Bring it up. Take it over to the left. Turn your torso. So your sternum, your heart lines up with that left knee. And then walk it forward and bow over the left knee. Just rest your tummy. I feel like I want to say this is called, there's a practice called yin yoga, Y-I-N. So it's very feminine. If we did a heated practice, like the stronger poses like eagle, like the sun salutations, those are more yang, Y-A-N-G in nature. They're heated, they're focused on strength. The softer ones like yin are more focused on just like opening through relaxation and letting go. Very different, right? I think this one's called like sleeping deer. Anyway, they've all got different names and they're super sweet. We're going to bring it back up. Okay, come to center. Little reverse table. This is great for the shoulders. It's just good strength for your glutes. And it's like it's a way to kind of experience wheel in a way, in a much softer way. So I want to have my toes pointing straight ahead and I'm going to lift up. A lot of people will kind of stop here out of fear and trust that. But if you think you're going to be okay, see if you can find a little more fire, a little more juice and lift. I push down through the hands, engage my glutes, lift, 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 puff my chest, drop the head. Open your throat. Release it down. Okay, I'm going to hold on to the backs of my knees. I'm going to do a little spinal rocking. Again, I'm well aware that, there'll be lots of things that many of us can and can't do, and that's all good. Come onto your back, knees into your chest. Like if spinal rocking, you can't do it, okay, it's okay. Again. It's like, I think we, go ahead and let the left leg go as you pull the right knee in. I think of each time we make a choice that's really in alignment for our well-being. And we don't kind of override it and do what the ego wants and push through. I think it builds self-trust. Like I can count on me to make those wise choices for myself. So we celebrate that rather than I can't do the thing. Take the twist, right knee across and down. Open your right arm. So you could always have a block underneath that knee if you don't want it to drop all the way down. Otherwise, drop it all the way down. So the right shoulder, my right shoulder is not touching the ground. My knee is. And then I'm letting gravity, on that exhale, feel that letting go, feel that rotation in the spine. Coming back onto your back, and we're just going to switch left knee in. Give it a good squeeze. This is good for your digestive system. If things are ever not moving, squeeze the knees into the chest, and one at a time, right side and then left. Take your knee across and down. Left arm out to the left. How's the rhythm of your breath here? Our breath is such a reflection. If it's shallow, intense, if it's easeful and spacious and smooth, or somewhere in between. And sometimes if the mind is just locked in a particular place, bringing your attention to slow, even breathing can help you shift. Bring it back onto your back. Let's take a little happy baby. Reach for your feet. You can hold your ankles if you can't reach for your feet. It's often taught outside of the feet. I like inside. You get a pick. Rock it out, side to side. I like to, when I'm here, slide my hands more to my calves and just see if my legs will stretch out. Move through the feet a little bit. Wiggle your toes. Bring your knees back in. Give a squeeze. Place your feet down flat. Lift up. Give a little squeeze your shoulder blades in. Toes pointing straight ahead. If you'd like, interlace your hands. Tuck your shoulders more. Straighten your arms. Full bridge. Strong in your arms. Really root down to rise up. Press through the arms. Rise through the hips. Let's release down. Soles of the feet together. Knees open. Just put your hands on your belly. Take a soft breath in. Blow out through the mouth. With your hands on your belly, try a couple more of those and see if you can let the breath reach further down. So you probably took that breath, really, as I did too. I probably took it into the lungs, but it didn't go past. I want you to breathe and let the belly expand. Like you can even just visualize that the whole pelvic bowl fills with breath. Stay with this a few more cycles as I explain that. And those of you that have been coming for a while, then you hear me like a broken record sometimes. But the vagus nerve, it's the connection between the brain and the body. It's the command center, and it begins at the brain stem, and it threads through the heart, through the lungs, through all of the abdominal organs, and it lands at the bottom in the belly. And when we are doing diaphragmatic breathing into the abdomen, we are moving the diaphragm in such a way that massages the vagus nerve. And that is the light switch from shifting out of being in a sympathetic state to a parasympathetic state, from being in a stress response to feeling safe in the body, to feeling homeostasis, all is well. Let that be the inspiration to really focus on, learn, or practice breathing deep into the belly. That area can get so shut down. We just get disconnected from our power, from our gut, from our core, from our womb space, from our hips. Bring that back online. And I don't have I've been through a hysterectomy. So when I say womb space, I'm speaking to an energetic something. Still claim that energetically, even if you don't have it. All right, we are ready to rest. So I would just say, bring your knees in. I didn't even use the strap today. It's okay. Perfectly imperfect. Go ahead and find stillness, please. And when you find stillness, get really still. Really still.
everything get quiet. Like everything. So you can hear like underneath the silence, just no thinking, just being. Oh, what I can just offer as you're resting here is to call in like the most vibrant version of yourself, radiant and resilient, and like all the language around that vision. Maybe you're as healthy as you've been and you're celebrating that. I don't want to, I want to acknowledge all of it. So let the breath come in. Let your positive, loving, compassionate intentions for yourself come in. Let all that energy swirl around and be there. And I'm not denying the hard stuff because I know that too. Like I know it all. Very different journey from what you guys have navigated, but probably very similar in a way. All right, can we go ahead and find our way onto our side? Can we begin to find our way up and take that seat together? Feel your spine. So often I go to that within myself, not because I want to look like I've got good posture, but because that straight spine, there's an energetic, emotional component to that, spiritual component to that, really. So feel that strong, straight spine. Bring your hands together. Thank you for spending time with me. Yeah, just sending positivity to each one of you. Thank you. Namaste. Reach out anytime. Welcome to email me, connect with me. I got lots of ideas. Yeah, I'm very passionate about health. All right, you guys.